It's the Ray at Midnight Show. Tonight's music guest, Tony Valentino, the lead guitarist from the Standells.
Welcome, Tony, to Ray at Midnight. It's a pleasure to see you, old pal.
Hey, how are you, Ray?
It's good to see you, Tony, really. I can't get a big thrill having you here tonight. And thank goodness it's a late night show because I know you hardly ever sleep. You're always up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's about right.
Well, you always were when you were.
It's good for me, exactly.
Exactly.
That's when I do all my creational writing.
Well, that's when you... do you do your guitar licks with that way, too?
I do that in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. Oh, okay. I'm sure the neighbors must love you. But anyway, Tony, all kidding aside, it's a real thrill to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we on the Ray at Midnight Show, we only interview artists, writers, songwriters, or producers, or great musicians. And tonight we have one of the best, is Tony Valentino, one of the founders and the lead guitar player of the Standells. He is one of the original members and a legend within himself. Tony also has other albums that he has coming out, but we will discuss those later. In the meantime, Tony, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you're from Italy, and that you speak fluent, I think it's fluent Italian, or is it fluent, whatever Italian? Sicilian Italian.
Sicilian Italian, anything.
Anything.
Sì, parlo tutto italiano, siciliano.
Oh, okay, great. I don't know what you said, but, regular Italian, I guess I can figure it out. But you Sicilians always have some funny stuff going on. But anyway, when you were living in Italy, and obviously, how old were you when you came here to America?
I was 17, 18.
17, 18 years old. Were you playing in bands or music in Sicily at the time?
Well, I used to, in my little town, we had musicians with the mandolin and guitars used to go in the streets of the city and the piazzas, and I used to watch them. So I was really, really excited that one day my uncle told me he was going to build me a guitar. So he started this guitar, and it took a year. I had to wait 1 year. It took me this one guitar. So every day I would go there and check it out, see how far I was going on. But anyway, then I got the guitar, and I started learning little chords here and there, and I started playing. The guys accepted me as a player in their community of music. The only musicians in town.
So you played the piazzas.
The piazzas, yeah.
Piazzas, the restaurantes.
Italian songs, just like...
So did you
we
go
used
on
to serenade people when they got married.
Oh, I was about to ask you that question. Did you go under the windows and do that?
Yes, we did that. Even one night somebody got pissed off and they threw us some tomatoes, but that was part of the deal. Yeah.
Oh my! So then after that, I guess you decided you want to come to America, and so you came here. Did you go through Ellis Island or anything like that? Or
No,
you just
no,
came
no,
over with came over with family contacts.
Family. We all came here all together. I was really excited. Actually, we had to wait like 3 years to get the paperwork because actually my grandma was here. My mom was born in Sicily, my town. She came here when she was 6 months. And then they went to Cleveland and they lived there. She lived there until she was 13. So then they went back into my town. And so once in a while, my mama used to speak some English here and there. People would come into town from tourists and stuff. And but I got excited when we first got the TV that I got to see Elvis and all the American
artists. So you saw Elvis Presley on television, Ed Sullivan or something like that. Wow.
Yeah, and then I think it was Little Richard and Buddy Holly and.
Well, you saw the legends.
Actually,
the legends.
I saw the movie Black Jungle.
Blackboard Jungle.
But I will never forget to see these guys playing the song Rock Around the Cloud. That got me. They just got me going, that song. And so I wanted to come to America so bad that finally, after waiting 3 years, we came here. And
my next question to you is that when you came to America, I mean, I know that I know your real name, which is Emilion, and you've recorded under that name new products. That's kind of announcement. So you adopted the name of Tony Valentino to be more American, I'm assuming.
Well, my middle name's Tony.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, now that's okay.
Yeah.
So, but let me ask you this. So then, after you played around, obviously you got in a couple of groups. If I recall, looking at the research stuff, you did join another group before you were with the Standells.
Exactly. Yes. When I came here, I couldn't speak English, and finally, I found a job at Vandy Camps in San Fernando, and so I worked there as a did you see that I Love News episode when all the things were coming down the belt and spinning things up? That's what I had to do. I had to pick up all the packages from Vandy Camps, so they would bake
the bakery
every night,
goods, yeah.
the bakery goods, and so you had to do it. And sometimes, it would be catastrophe. The first 3 days was like losing. So then I met this guy. His name was Jody Rich. He was in my department, and we started talking at lunchtime. He says, "Hey, I'll play some bass. I'll play bass," and I go, "I'll play a little guitar." He goes, "Well, let's start a band then." So,
oh my goodness!
So we started using this garage. We found this one drummer. I think his name was Benny or something like that. I don't recall exactly. No, this was another name. But anyway, we found then we met Lenny Duncan. Lenny Duncan came into the band, and I started working.
Well, what did you call the band?
We call ourselves the Starlighters.
The Starlighters. The Starlighters. So you worked around, obviously,
and
in LA.
There was Benny Duncan in the band, Jody Rich and myself, and this drummer. Then Lenny Duncan used to come to my house every day. He had a part of the song which turned out to be called Let's Go. And I worked the bridge part because he didn't have it. But at the time, I couldn't speak English. I didn't know. My parents didn't know. So we went to Glendale. We did a demo. We all paid $5 each. I'll never forget this. We recorded in this recording studio.
Tony, I've never heard
There was a recording studio in Glendale. I swear to God that
I've never heard this.
$5 each we played. We actually went to John Burroughs High School in Burbank one night. And they were clapping the hands. So we came after the game, and we're outside, and we started clapping the hands. They go, "Wait, let's put the hand clapping and say we'll call the song Let's Go," because before he was calling it delayed action or something like that. So then we went home from that idea. We called it that Let's Go was born. So we got it recorded in Glendale, and afterwards, Lenny Duncan disappeared. Couldn't find him for weeks. Then, meanwhile, me and Jody, we got left alone by ourselves. So we were looking for a keyboard player, and we met Larry Tamlin.
Oh, so that's when you met Larry Tamlin.
Exactly. We met Larry Tamlin, and then we were working for work, and we had no band name, and we signed with this agency called McConkey Agency in Hollywood.
The what agency?
McConkey. Gail McConkey.
I thought I knew all the agents in Hollywood, but I guess I missed that one.
So we had a band, but we had no name, and every day we would wait outside because she would tell us that she would have a job for us. Maybe she was calling. So every day we would wait outside of the corner of, I think it's Yucca and Ivar, one of the streets there.
In Hollywood?
In Hollywood, yes. We had no name, and
the band
we were standing around one day, and we were saying, she was telling us, you guys got to come up with a name. So we were all trying to come up with the names. I would come up with the one or the other one. So one day somebody said, let's call ourselves the Standells because we're standing around. We're standing around here waiting for phone call.
So you're just standing waiting for a phone call. So basically the Standells name got on a street corner.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's how the Standells came about. So,
at the time it was me and Larry and Jody Rich.
Okay, so you guys, I recall many years ago myself with the Standells. I used to go up and down Hollywood Boulevard. And I remember a lot of the clubs or whatever, I saw the Standells there. You played on the Sunset Strip quite often in the early days before you were recording, is that correct?
Correct. after we formed, we went to Hawaii, and then we came back. We broke up. Jody Rich was the sergeant. He used to make us polish our shoes, and he was the leader of the band.
Oh, it was a rock and roll band.
So,
You polished your
yeah,
shoes
and
every
he
day.
could put us. We couldn't do anything. It was we couldn't not see too many girls. It was like crazy. It was just like being in the army. So we came back, and that was just me and Larry, and we found this job in Bakersfield through the same agent, and we had no drummer. And she gave us a drummer, and we got there to Bakersfield, drove to Bakersfield. And we started playing on stage, and the guy started playing a polka beat to our song.
Oh my goodness!
And then the
Oh,
top
my
the
goodness.
thing was he fell off the stage. I never forget that.
What?
So then we were from Hawaii to Bakersfield. That was like a big, crazy letdown. So we were driving back, me and Larry, and we're talking, and then Larry says, "Don't worry, we're gonna make it. We're gonna start the band. We're gonna start all over again."
Oh my goodness!
So then we went back to Hollywood and started searching for members, for drummer and bass player, and we found Gary Walker Leeds, which then he became the Walker Brothers. He went to England. He left the band. Then me and Larry. We stuck together, and we remained the same, and just us two, the founder members, and we found Gary Leeds and Gary Lane,
So this was before Dick Dodd, I
this
think.
was before Dick Dodd, exactly, and our first job was in Ridgecrest, cowboy town, and some girls who were sitting in front of us, they were looking at us, and the drummer, and the first job, man. When we took our break, we went outside to get some fresh air,
Oh,
and
man.
3 guys came and fucking jumped us. They started fighting us. And that broke the drummer Steve.
Oh my goodness!
The
Tony, I got to stop you right there because
This
we're
was incredible.
running out of time. But
Yeah.
you know, the stories
There's
are
so
incredible.
many stories, yeah.
But believe me, I've known you for quite a while, and we've been involved in a lot of things together. And I've never actually heard these stories. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll have Tony Valentino from the Standells, the original founder, and one of the original founders, and we'll have him back on another show. And it's just too much to talk about. Specifically, we want to talk about his new album that he has out, which is in Italian. And so, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and don't forget, Ray at Midnight at the Midnight Hour.
Later.
Non mangio più, non mangio più, non mangio più. Mi alzo la mattina, il gallo canta la vetrina e vado subito in cucina. Ma mamma chiama, ha cucinato una gattina, per qua figlio mio a mangiare la tia pappina. Sono pieno di spaghetti.